To live in wealth, you must first assume the feeling of wealth. You do not wait for evidence to appear before you accept it as real. You become it in consciousness before it takes form in your world. The unseen reality within you is the only reality that matters. You are not pretending, nor are you deceiving yourself. You are aligning with the truth that what you claim internally must manifest externally. The world is but a mirror, reflecting the contents of your mind. When you walk into a room, do so as one who is abundant, not with arrogance, but with a quiet assurance that all you desire is already yours. You do not need to seek approval, for you carry within you the authority of one who possesses great wealth. The way you move, the way you speak, the way you see the world, all must align with the assumption that you are already the person you wish to become. It is not about material displays, but about embodying the consciousness of prosperity. If you were wealthy, how would you feel upon waking? How would you go about your day? Would you worry about lack, or would you move with the certainty that life supports you? Would you dwell in fear, or would you trust that every need is already met? The key is to live in the state of the wish fulfilled. Not someday, not when conditions change, but now, in this very moment. Your senses will tell you otherwise. They will insist that you are still struggling, that circumstances have not yet shifted. But your senses are only reporting the past, the remnants of old assumptions that no longer serve you. If you persist in believing what the world tells you, you will remain bound by it. But if you dare to ignore appearances and instead trust the unseen reality within, you will find that the world rearranges itself to match your conviction. Money is not the source of wealth, consciousness is. If you believe yourself to be wealthy, money will follow. If you see yourself as abundant, opportunities will arise effortlessly. Your only work is to remain faithful to the state of being that aligns with the life you desire. There is no force outside of you deciding what you can or cannot have. There is only the reflection of what you dare to claim as true. Many believe they must struggle, that wealth comes through hardship alone. But wealth is a state of mind, not a condition imposed upon you by the world. The moment you stop seeking and start knowing, you will see the evidence appear before you. Not because you wished for it, but because you became it. The world will call it coincidence, luck, or chance. But you will know better. You will know that you shifted your consciousness, and the world had no choice but to reflect it back to you. To experience wealth in your reality, you must first claim it within yourself. This is not about wishful thinking or daydreaming. It is about shifting your consciousness to a state where wealth is already yours. The outer world is merely a reflection of the inner world, and whatever you hold as true within will inevitably manifest without. Many people wait for their external conditions to change before they allow themselves to feel abundant. They believe that when they see money in their bank account, when they receive a promotion, or when circumstances align in their favor, then they will feel wealthy. But this is a fundamental misunderstanding of how reality works. The external world does not create your inner state. It is your inner state that gives rise to external conditions. If you wish to experience wealth, you must first assume the feeling of being wealthy now. You do not need to see physical evidence before you accept something as true. When you plant a seed, you do not stand over the soil demanding proof that it is growing. You trust the process. You water it, nurture it, and believe in the unseen power that is bringing it to life beneath the surface. The same is true for wealth. You must cultivate the feeling of abundance before you see it take form in your life. This is not about pretending or deceiving yourself. It is about aligning your mind with the reality you desire. You must feel, think, and act as someone who already possesses great wealth. What does that mean? It means waking up with gratitude, knowing that life supports you in all ways. It means moving through your day with confidence, knowing that everything you need is provided for. It means making decisions from a place of abundance rather than lack. The moment you assume the feeling of wealth, the world begins to shift in response. You start to see opportunities where there were none before. You begin to attract the right people, the right circumstances, and the right ideas that lead you to financial success. This is not luck or coincidence. It is the natural law of consciousness. What you hold in your mind as true must express itself in the world around you. Most people make the mistake of allowing their senses to dictate their beliefs. They look at their current financial situation and decide that they are lacking. They focus on their debts, their struggles, and their limitations, reinforcing the very state they wish to escape. But if you continue to dwell in the consciousness of lack, you will only perpetuate more of it. The key is to ignore appearances and persist in the assumption that you are already wealthy. When you assume wealth as your present reality, you naturally begin to make choices that reflect that state. You no longer operate from a mindset of desperation or fear. Instead, you trust that everything you need is always available to you. You no longer cling to every dollar, worrying about how to make ends meet, because you know that money flows effortlessly when you remain in alignment with abundance. This shift in consciousness affects everything in your life. Your body language changes, you walk with confidence rather than hesitation. Your speech changes, you speak of possibilities rather than limitations. Your actions change, you take inspired steps toward financial success rather than reacting to circumstances in fear. When you fully embrace the state of wealth, you no longer seek approval or validation from others because you carry within you the unshakable knowing that you are abundant. There is no need to force anything to happen. Wealth is not something you chase, it is something you embody. When you internalize the feeling of abundance, the world must conform to that state. Just as a mirror reflects your image, reality reflects your dominant thoughts and feelings. If you see yourself as prosperous, the world will have no choice but to show you evidence of your prosperity. Doubt and fear are the greatest obstacles to this process. The mind is conditioned to question, to analyze, and to resist what it cannot yet see. It will try to convince you that you are merely imagining things, that you must struggle, that wealth is for others but not for you. These thoughts are not truths, they are simply remnants of old conditioning that must be released. The moment you stop believing in lack, it loses its power over you. Your only work is to remain faithful to the state of being wealthy. No matter what circumstances arise, no matter what your bank account says, you persist in the assumption that you are already abundant. You do not react to temporary setbacks because you know that your inner state is the cause and the outer world must follow. Many people fail to manifest wealth because they oscillate between belief and doubt. One moment they feel prosperous, and the next they look at their bills and sink back into fear. This inconsistency weakens their creative power. The key is unwavering faith. When you assume a state with full conviction, without second guessing, it must externalize in your life. This practice requires discipline. It means choosing your thoughts deliberately. It means refusing to dwell in worry or scarcity. It means shifting your focus from what is lacking to what is already abundant in your life. Even if you only have a small amount of money, appreciate it. Gratitude amplifies abundance. When you express gratitude for what you have, you are affirming the presence of wealth rather than the absence of it. Your emotions are a powerful indicator of your state. If you feel anxious, stressed, or desperate about money, you are operating from a consciousness of lack. But if you feel at peace, secure, and grateful, you are embodying the state of wealth. Train yourself to recognize these emotional cues and shift your state accordingly. If fear arises, do not resist it. Observe it, acknowledge it, and replace it with a feeling of abundance. Wealth is not about numbers in a bank account. It is about the energy you carry. A person with very little money can still feel abundant, while a person with millions can live in constant fear of loss. True wealth is a state of mind. When you cultivate that state, financial success naturally follows. The world does not create wealth for you, you create it within yourself, and the world simply reflects it back to you. This is the art of acting wealthy before you are. It is not about spending recklessly or trying to impress others. It is about assuming the inner state of abundance so completely that it becomes your reality. If you can hold this state with unwavering faith, you will soon find that what was once invisible has become visible, and what was once a dream has become your life. To truly embody wealth before it materializes in your external world, you must carry yourself with quiet assurance. This is not about arrogance or trying to prove something to others. It is about cultivating an inner confidence that does not waver, regardless of appearances. Wealth is not merely a number in a bank account. It is a state of being, a presence, an energy that radiates from within. When you observe those who are truly wealthy, not just in material possessions but in mindset, you will notice a calm certainty in the way they move, speak, and interact with the world. They do not seek validation. They do not explain themselves. They do not operate from fear. Instead, they exude an effortless knowing that life supports them, that opportunities are abundant, and that wealth flows naturally in their direction. This quiet assurance is something you must cultivate within yourself before your outer world shifts. Most people approach wealth from the outside in. They believe that if they can secure a certain job, acquire a certain amount of money, or achieve external success, then they will feel confident and secure. But this is backward. The confidence must come first. The security must be assumed before it can be experienced. To act with quiet assurance, you must first detach from the need for external proof. If you are constantly looking for signs of wealth in your reality, you are affirming its absence. The moment you seek confirmation from the outside world, you weaken your inner conviction. True wealth does not need proof. It does not need to be justified. It is something you carry within you, regardless of what your circumstances suggest. Imagine for a moment that you are already wealthy beyond measure. How will you carry yourself? How will you speak? How would you interact with the world? You would not rush through life in a state of desperation. You would not cling to every dollar in fear of losing it. You would not shrink yourself or second-guess your worth. Instead, you would move with ease. You would trust in the flow of life. You would make decisions from a place of abundance rather than lack. This shift in your demeanor is subtle but powerful. When you adopt the presence of wealth, the world responds accordingly. Opportunities begin to present themselves effortlessly. People treat you differently, not because you have suddenly acquired money, but because your energy has changed. You attract abundance not through force, but through your unwavering inner state. Most people underestimate the power of their presence. They believe that wealth is determined solely by external factors, jobs, investments, connections. But wealth is first an internal state that influences every action, every decision, every encounter. The way you carry yourself in the smallest moments sends signals to the universe about what you expect to receive. When you walk into a room, do you shrink back, doubting your worth, or do you enter with the quiet assurance of someone who belongs? When you make financial decisions, do you act from fear and hesitation, or do you trust that there is always more than enough? When you speak about money, do you affirm abundance, or do you reinforce limitation? Your words, your posture, your energy, these all communicate your inner state long before your external wealth arrives. You must begin now to align with the presence of wealth, not by pretending or forcing, but by deeply embodying the reality of abundance. This means letting go of the habit of seeking permission to be wealthy. You do not need to wait for external validation. You do not need someone to tell you that you are worthy of success. You must decide it for yourself. Many people make the mistake of trying to act rich in a way that is performative. They overspend to impress others. They seek attention. They focus on appearing wealthy rather than embodying the quiet confidence that true wealth brings. This is not the way. True wealth is not loud. It does not need to prove itself. It does not chase. Think of the wealthiest people in history, not just those with money, but those with true power and influence. Their presence alone speaks volumes. They do not need to announce their wealth. They do not need to demand respect. They carry an undeniable energy of abundance that others recognize instantly. You must cultivate this same quiet assurance within yourself. If you were already wealthy, you would not feel the need to justify yourself to others. You would not operate from scarcity. You would not hesitate to invest in yourself, to trust in your decisions, to move with certainty. You would act from a place of knowing, not hoping. One of the most powerful exercises to shift into this state is to begin observing your daily habits and interactions. How do you react when you receive a bill? Do you feel anxious, or do you trust that money is always flowing to you? How do you behave when you are around others who are financially successful? Do you feel inferior, or do you recognize that you belong in that same space? These small moments reveal your true inner state. If you find yourself shrinking, hesitating, or fearing lack, this is an opportunity to shift. Begin to practice moving through life as someone who already possesses great wealth. When you make decisions, ask yourself, what choice would I make if I knew I was already abundant? When you speak, ensure that your words align with the reality of wealth. When you think about money, release worry and instead focus on the infinite supply available to you. This is not about pretending. It is about stepping into the truth of who you are. Abundance is your natural state. Scarcity is learned. The moment you choose to operate from abundance, the universe has no choice but to meet you there. It is important to remain steady in this state, even when your current reality suggests otherwise. There will be moments when your senses try to convince you that you are lacking. Do not be swayed by appearances. Hold firm in your inner knowing. Act with the quiet assurance that your wealth is already here, even before it is visible. Many people give up too soon. They begin to shift their mindset, but when they do not see immediate results, they fall back into doubt. This is like planting a seed and then digging it up each day to check if it is growing. Wealth manifests for those who persist. Hold your state unwaveringly, and it must externalize. Every moment is an opportunity to embody the presence of wealth. From the way you carry yourself to the thoughts you entertain, every action sends a signal to the universe about what you believe to be true. If you can master this state, if you can hold the feeling of abundance without wavering, the outer world will have no choice but to reflect it back to you. Wealth is not something you chase. It is something you align with. The moment you begin to embody the feeling of already being wealthy, you start to attract the experiences, opportunities, and people that match that inner state. This is the power of emotional alignment. The external world is a reflection of your internal world. If you continue to see yourself as someone who lacks, who struggles, who is always in need, then life will confirm that belief. But if you step into the identity of someone who is already abundant, the world must respond accordingly. Most people make the mistake of focusing on their external conditions and allowing those conditions to dictate how they feel. If they see a small bank balance, they feel poor. If they receive an unexpected bill, they feel anxious. If they lose an opportunity, they feel defeated. But this is the exact opposite of how wealth is created. You cannot let the outside world determine your inner state, because the outside world is only a reflection of past thoughts and feelings. Instead, you must decide how you want to feel first, and then allow reality to reshape itself around that decision. Begin by asking yourself, how would I feel if I already had everything I desired? If I had unlimited financial resources? If I had complete freedom? If I had all the support I needed? What emotions would fill my being? Would I feel relieved? Would I feel powerful? Would I feel grateful? Would I feel at peace? These feelings are not dependent on circumstances. They can be generated within you right now in this very moment. When you close your eyes and truly step into the experience of wealth, when you allow yourself to feel it in every cell of your body, You are shifting your frequency to match that reality. This is not mere imagination, it is creation. The mind does not know the difference between something vividly imagined and something physically experienced. The emotions you generate now begin to restructure your energy field, sending signals out into the universe that draw to you the corresponding external manifestation. The key is consistency. Many people try this process for a short time, but then they allow old habits of thought and emotion to creep back in. They return to worrying, to doubting, to looking at what is rather than focusing on what is becoming. But if you truly want to shift your reality, you must hold the feeling of abundance unwaveringly. You must live in the emotional state of already having what you desire, regardless of what your senses tell you. This is not about ignoring reality or pretending that challenges do not exist. It is about deciding which reality you will give your energy to. Will you continue to reinforce lack by emotionally reacting to it? Or will you discipline your mind to remain fixed on the experience of wealth, even when physical evidence has not yet arrived? Consider the way you feel about money right now. Do you feel anxious when you think about it? Do you feel restricted? Do you feel like you never have enough? These emotions are indicators of what you are creating. If you want to change your financial reality, you must first change your emotional relationship with money. You must learn to feel good about it, to feel grateful for what you have, to appreciate its presence rather than fear its absence. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotional tools for shifting into wealth. When you focus on what you already have, when you acknowledge every dollar that flows into your life, no matter how small, you create an energy of abundance. The universe responds to this energy by giving you more. But when you focus on what is missing, on what is lacking, on what you do not yet have, you block the flow of prosperity. Think about the wealthiest people in the world. Do they wake up every morning worried about money? Do they stress over bills? No. They assume that money is always available to them. They trust that it will continue to flow. They do not operate from scarcity, and as a result, their wealth grows effortlessly. If you can train yourself to adopt the same emotional state, your financial circumstances must begin to reflect that shift. One of the greatest mistakes people make is waiting for external circumstances to change before they allow themselves to feel abundant. They think, once I have more money, then I will feel secure. Once I get that job, then I will feel successful. Once I achieve my goals, then I will feel at peace. But this is backward. The feeling must come first. You must feel secure now, feel successful now, feel at peace now. Because it is that emotional state that creates the future you desire. This requires a conscious decision every day. Every time you catch yourself slipping into worry or doubt, remind yourself that your emotions are shaping your reality. Choose to feel differently. Choose to shift your focus. Choose to embody the energy of wealth, even if there is no physical evidence of it yet. A powerful exercise to practice this shift is to spend a few moments each day immersing yourself in the feeling of already having what you desire. Sit in a quiet space, close your eyes, and imagine yourself living in the exact reality you want. See yourself in your dream home, driving your dream car, experiencing the financial freedom you long for. More importantly, feel it. Let the emotions of joy, gratitude, and security flood your body. The more real you make this experience in your mind, the faster it will materialize in your life. Your emotions are like magnets. They attract experiences that match their frequency. If you walk through life feeling wealthy, feeling secure, feeling abundant, the world must rearrange itself to reflect those feelings. This is why some people seem to attract money effortlessly, while others struggle no matter how hard they work. It is not about effort alone, it is about energetic alignment. The beautiful thing about this process is that it does not require external permission. You do not have to wait for anyone to give you wealth. You do not have to wait for the right opportunity, the right conditions, or the right time. You can begin shifting into the emotional state of abundance right now, and as you do, life will begin to mirror that state back to you in ways that seem almost miraculous. It may begin with small signs, a sudden financial gift, an unexpected opportunity, a feeling of ease where there was once stress. As you continue to hold the emotional state of wealth, those signs will grow into tangible realities. The money will come. The opportunities will multiply. The abundance you feel inside will become the abundance you experience outside. This is the art of emotional alignment. It is not about hoping or wishing. It is about embodying. It is about stepping into the experience of wealth internally before it appears externally. When you master this, you will no longer be controlled by circumstances. You will no longer react to lack or limitation. You will know with absolute certainty that you are wealthy and that wealth is your natural state. Once you fully align your emotions with the reality you desire, you become unstoppable. No obstacle can shake you, no setback can discourage you, because you are no longer looking to the external world for confirmation. You know that your wealth exists now, within you, and it is only a matter of time before it appears in the physical world. Hold on to that knowing, remain steady in that emotional state, and watch as reality bends to match it. The way you speak about yourself and your financial situation is one of the most powerful forces shaping your reality. Words are not just expressions of thought. They are creative tools that bring into existence the very experiences you describe. Every time you speak, you reinforce a particular identity, and that identity dictates the experiences you attract. If you want to shift into a reality of wealth and abundance, you must first become conscious of the language you use and ensure that every word you speak aligns with that reality. Most people are unaware of how often they affirm lack and limitation in their daily conversations. They say things like, "I can't afford that," "Money is so hard to come by," "I'm always struggling," or "I'll never get ahead." These statements may seem harmless, but they are powerful declarations that reinforce a state of lack. Each time these words are spoken, they act as a command to the subconscious mind, reinforcing the belief that scarcity is the dominant reality. The subconscious then organizes circumstances to match that belief, ensuring that the experience of lack continues. Your words do not just shape your financial reality, they influence how others perceive and interact with you. When you speak with confidence about your financial success, even if it has not yet manifested in full, people begin to see you as someone who is abundant. This perception opens doors. Opportunities flow to those who are perceived as successful, because success attracts success. If you carry yourself as someone who is financially secure, others will respond accordingly, and before long, your outer world will reflect that inner confidence. It is important to recognize that speaking as if you are already wealthy does not mean being dishonest or pretending to be something you are not. It means choosing to focus on abundance rather than limitation. It means expressing gratitude for the wealth that already exists in your life, no matter how small. It means acknowledging every financial blessing, no matter how minor, and speaking about it with appreciation. Gratitude is a key component of wealth-conscious speech. When you constantly express appreciation for what you have, you send a powerful message to the universe that you recognize and value abundance. This in turn attracts more abundance. Instead of saying, "I wish I had more money," say, "I am so grateful for the financial blessings in my life." Instead of complaining about expenses, say, "I am thankful that I have the resources to pay for what I need." This shift in language transforms your relationship with money from one of stress to one of ease, and that ease allows wealth to flow more freely. The way you speak to yourself internally is just as important as the words you say out loud. Your internal dialogue shapes your self-impeach, and your self-impeach dictates the reality you create. If you constantly tell yourself that you are struggling, that you are unlucky, that wealth is out of reach, those beliefs will be reflected in your life. But if you train your inner voice to affirm abundance, to declare that you are financially empowered, to recognize the infinite possibilities available to you, then those beliefs will become your reality. A powerful practice is to speak abundance over your life every morning. Before you even get out of bed, take a moment to declare the financial reality you desire. Say, today I welcome prosperity. Money flows to me in unexpected ways. I am aligned with wealth. Every action I take brings me closer to financial freedom. Speaking these words at the start of each day sets the tone for everything that follows. It programs your subconscious mind to seek out opportunities, to recognize possibilities, to move through the day with the confidence of someone who is already abundant. Another technique is to speak about money as if it were a trusted friend. Instead of treating money as something elusive or difficult to obtain, speak about it with warmth and appreciation. Say, money loves me, it flows to me with ease, it supports me in all my endeavors. This transforms your relationship with wealth from one of struggle to one of harmony, and that harmony creates the conditions for more financial success. Your words create a vibration that echoes into the world and shapes the experiences that return to you. When you speak wealth into existence, when you affirm your financial abundance with conviction, when you refuse to engage in conversations of lack and limitation, you align yourself with the frequency of prosperity. This alignment is what draws money, opportunities, and success into your life. Many people underestimate the power of their words because they do not see immediate results. But just as the seed takes time to grow into a tree, the words you speak plant the foundation for future abundance. Every declaration of wealth, every affirmation of financial success, every statement of gratitude adds another layer to that foundation. If you remain consistent, if you continue to speak as if wealth is already yours, reality will eventually conform to your words. To master the art of speaking wealth into existence, you must remain vigilant. Pay close attention to the words you use every day. Correct yourself when you slip into statements of lack. Replace every negative financial thought with an empowering declaration of abundance. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, and as it does, your outer world will shift to reflect the abundance you have claimed with your words. When you speak as though you are already wealthy, you begin to embody that reality. The world responds not to what you wish for, but to what you declare with certainty. Declare abundance, speak prosperity, affirm financial success, and watch as the power of your words shapes the world around you into one of limitless wealth. The way you carry yourself in daily life reflects what you believe about yourself and your place in the world. Your posture, your mannerisms, the way you walk into a room. These subtle but powerful expressions signal to others, and more importantly to yourself, the state of mind you are embodying. To attract wealth, you must begin to move through life as if you are already abundant. This is not about arrogance or pretense. It is about embodying a mindset that aligns with financial success. Most people do not realize that their body language and movement habits are reinforcing a state of lack. When a person is worried about money, their shoulders tend to slump, their movements become hesitant, and they carry an air of uncertainty. They may shuffle instead of walking confidently. Their handshake may be weak. Their eye contact may be fleeting. These small details send a clear message to the subconscious: I am struggling, I do not have enough. And because the subconscious mind faithfully manifests the identity you assume, life continues to reflect this belief. On the other hand, the body language of someone who is financially secure exudes confidence, ease, and assurance. They walk with a purpose, their posture is upright, their handshake is firm, and their gaze is steady. They do not move through the world as if they are weighed down by financial burdens. Instead, they radiate a quiet assurance that everything they need is already available to them. By adopting this physical presence before the outer conditions match, you signal to your subconscious mind that you are already wealthy, and it begins to arrange circumstances to align with that assumption. One of the simplest ways to begin shifting into this wealthy state of being is to practice walking with confidence. The next time you enter a room, straighten your posture, lift your chin slightly, and walk with the presence of someone who has nothing to fear. Imagine that you are stepping into a space where you belong, where you are recognized and respected. With each step, feel the energy of abundance moving through you. Do not rush, do not shrink yourself. Move with the ease of someone who knows they are secure. The way you sit and stand also reflects your state of mind. People who feel powerless tend to collapse into themselves, crossing their arms defensively or fidgeting with their hands. In contrast, those who feel abundant and at ease take up space, sitting with their shoulders open, their movements fluid, their breath steady. To step into the identity of wealth, become aware of how you hold yourself. Adjust your posture throughout the day. If you find yourself shrinking, straighten up. If you catch yourself fidgeting nervously, take a deep breath and relax into the moment. These small shifts create a powerful internal change, reinforcing the belief that you are in control of your reality. Clothing also plays a significant role in how you present yourself to the world, and more importantly, how you feel about yourself. You do not need to spend large sums of money on designer labels to dress with the presence of wealth. Instead, focus on choosing clothing that makes you feel confident and well put together. Wealthy individuals take care in their appearance, not for the sake of impressing others, but because they respect themselves. Dressing with intention signals to your mind that you are worthy of abundance. Even if your budget is currently limited, choose pieces that fit well, that make you feel powerful, and that reflect the image of the person you are becoming. It is also important to consider the way you engage with the world around you. People who are stuck in a scarcity mindset often move through life with a sense of hurried desperation. They rush through meals, they fidget impatiently, they check their phones compulsively, always feeling as though they are running out of time or resources. This frantic energy reinforces the experience of lack. In contrast, wealthy individuals approach life with a sense of calm presence. They take their time, they savor their experiences. They move through conversations with intention rather than urgency. They understand that abundance is not something to chase, but something to allow. To embody this state of ease, practice slowing down. When you eat, do so with presence, as if you are in no rush, because you have all the time in the world. When you speak, do so with measured confidence rather than hurried uncertainty. When you move, do so deliberately, as if every action is taken from a place of power. This shift in energy alone will begin to transform how you experience life, because you are no longer reinforcing the identity of someone struggling for more. You are embodying the reality of someone who already has it. Another powerful practice is to become aware of how you handle money in daily interactions. People who feel financially insecure tend to treat money with nervous energy. They grip their cash tightly. They hesitate when paying for things. They count every cent with a sense of lack. In contrast, those who feel financially abundant handle money with ease. They do not cling to it fearfully, nor do they spend it recklessly. They move it through their lives with trust. When you hand over money, do so with gratitude, knowing that more is always coming to you. When you receive money, accept it with appreciation, recognizing that it is a natural and constant flow. The places you frequent also contribute to your self-perception. If you constantly surround yourself with environments that reinforce struggle, your subconscious will continue to associate your identity with lack. This does not mean you must spend extravagantly, but you can begin to expose yourself to places that align with the wealth you are stepping into. Visit beautiful spaces, walk through high-end areas, spend time in locations that elevate your sense of abundance. Even if you are not purchasing anything, simply being in an environment that reflects success shifts your internal reference points, making wealth feel more natural to you.